Hi, Phoenix. I wrote a post for you and Kristen yesterday. I don't know if you read my post on my timeline. I got your package all set. I'm just waiting for my cold to go away so that I can give you guys loving vibes and not icky vibes. And, I don't want to put none of y'all stuff with colds, cooties on it. God forbid. You open your package and next thing you know, you get magic and a cold. Don't work. But, yeah, I'm hoping they'll be done. My sickness will be done in about 2 days. I've been drinking a lot of lemon water. Taking NyQuil to knock me out like a horse. And boosting my immunity with the elderberry, which I'm giving you girls some in your package to make tea. It boosts your immunity naturally, and it's stronger than vitamin C. So I figured that will be beneficial. I'm also throwing in some calendula and orris root herbs that you can make in your teas as well, or put in your baths. And little voodoo doll men. You can use them for blessing or protection or health or whatever, so it's pretty awesome. Hello, guys. I see the viewers are brewing up. Hey, sis. Always. I'm working! They turn right back around to go to daddy's room. What is it, Damien? Boys. Anyway, while they argue and their father handles them, I'm going to get into conversation about a few things because I can never really stay on topic. It always depends what goes in my brain and comes out my mouth. But I wanted to talk about certain things. I wanted to talk about the fact of struggles and what they actually mean. I wanted to talk about only hanging or only going to places that celebrate you, not just tolerate your essence there. Nobody wants to be around people that don't want to be around you, okay? That's like going to a birthday party you're not even invited to, and people just like, why are you here? You get that heavy feeling of energy on you, you know what I mean? But this goes more deeper into life aspects than anything else in all reality. This is not just working with coworkers that don't like you or anything like that. This is also picking and choosing who you want around your aura, because your aura is a blessing and it's a magnet, and you got to be very, very careful with who you want to attract. If you hate certain people at work, if you hate certain people in your family, or if you hate certain friends or whatever, keep them away from you. Keep them away from you. Okay? They'll get mad, but they'll get over it. If you think about it, how many friends have you lost and within a month, 2, 3, 4 months, they forgot you existed, or you forgot the whole situation and you forgot they existed? Time heals. A lot of people don't want to believe that, and people are like, whatever, but it does. Time heals wounds. Depends how deep the wound is. Like if the wound is very deep, time takes more time, of course. It takes more time to heal. But if the wound is like a paper cut, like people not liking you or people just dealing with you because they have to, time will heal that in a month. Less than a month. And you'll realize you feel better off. You feel weight off your shoulders. I'm going to tell you right now, we as people stress over the stupidest shit. And I'm going to tell you right now, stress and all of that, it doesn't just affect you like mentally or emotionally. This shit affects your body too. Like you'll get more chronic pain. You'll all of a sudden get chest pain, anxiety, rapid heartbeat. Your immunity can go down. Your freaking organs are not functioning right. Like stress, it can demolish all levels of you, if that makes sense. For example, say I'm stressing over money. I have no money. I got bills to pay. I got kids to feed. It's an example, okay? Now, I'm dwelling on the fact that I have no money. I have no money. I have no money, right? Which is making me physically sick, which is making my mind go nuts and taking it out, all my anger and stresses on other people, which is ruining my relationships. This shit is a chain effect, Okay? The way you respond to certain situations also can react or change other aspects of your life. For example, if you do wind up stressing over money, you can easily take that out on your wife. Next thing you know, you don't got a wife. Now you're losing your wife and your kids. Now you got to figure out, how am I going to pay mortgage by myself? My wife just moved out. Now you're losing your house. Now you got to figure out, do I get 3 jobs? Do I get this job? It can reflect on everything. If you literally smother your worries into one aspect of your life, it can demolish everything else. Okay? Everything, like I always say, is a chain reaction. Everything is connected. It doesn't matter if the topics are 2 different topics. They still have some kind of connection to each other. And we got to remember that. Because the universe is a big design. But if you kind of get into the idea of what the design is, you'll realize that all the lines are still attached to the main center of the picture. It's still all attached. No matter what direction it goes in, it's still attached to something. So everything is connected. Okay? I need better music because this is not letting me bump. And I talk better when I'm bumping. Avril Lavigne. I used to have a crush on her. Anyways, so say something doesn't go the way you want it to go. Is it really worth, regardless of what it is it really worth moping, beating yourself up, seeing what you did wrong, and smothering that vibration and smothering it? Because you know what you're doing? I'm going to be honest. The more you smother a situation that you can't change or that doesn't go your way, the bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger you're letting it be, because you're feeding it that smothering energy. You're letting it consume who you are. You're letting it basically control or manipulate the rest of everything else in your life. This is why every time we feel like with certain situations we trip and we say, oh, get back up, dust yourself off and keep walking. Yeah, that's the intention. But some people, if you notice, when some people fall, they don't get up right away. Some just sit there. Some lay on the floor for 2 minutes and play dead. Some act like all dramatic, like they broke a leg. It's the same with situations. People act different with their situations the same way they would if they fell. Okay? Get over it. You have to get over things you cannot change. If you obsess over these things, they will consume you, change you, and then everything that you worked for will go gone. Gone. Will be completely gone. And yeah, okay, I always say starting over is a good thing. Changes are a good thing. You know, even if they're a bad change or a good change, it's still a change. It's still your life evolving and mutating and transitioning and all of this stuff. We have to remember that our challenges are our blessing because they teach us what not to do the next time. If you're abusive in your last relationship, now you know, okay, that's over and done with. In this new relationship, I need to change that habit. Don't bring old habits or bad habits into new things in your life. Things end with the intention of how you did those things when they ended. That doesn't mean the new blessing that comes, you do the same action, because you might get the same result as the last time. Change things. What is it that you can work on? What is it that you could have did differently? Or maybe reacted differently or spoke differently? You know, you have to put yourself, I love this song. You have to put yourself to see each situation in every angle. For a moment, even if you need a moment to yourself to say, you know what? Just give me 5 minutes. Let me think, and then I'll let you know. Go to yourself and be like, well, I do want to write a book. I have to get over the fear of failure, though. I can't write a book and be successful while I'm also feeling the fear of failure. Do I take the risk? Do I not take the risk? You not taking risk, you're never going to learn if that's what's for you. Okay? Sometimes we have to learn to jump off the cliff and hope we land in the water without hitting the rocks on the bottom. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. It's all about your faith. We all have faith. Even atheists have faith. They might not admit it, But when something goes wrong and they haven't hacked themselves to death and they keep trying and trying, they have faith. They might not admit it, but they do. They don't have faith in a source, but they have faith in themselves. That's why they keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. Think about it. The first 2 or 3 times you failed, you could have gave up. But you didn't. And you're still breathing. And you're still living. Day by day, you're surviving each day. Do you know people die every 2.5 minutes in the world? Every day, every 2.5 minutes, someone hacks to death or dies and goes into the spirit world. And every 2 minutes also, no, my bad, every 5 to 10 minutes, a baby's born. So we have a process consistently happening. Okay? And it doesn't matter. You know, there's not specific chosen people that die. It happens when it happens. You get what I'm saying? It happens when it happens. Nobody's picking and choosing. Okay, it's your time to die. It's your time. Okay, you know, the Grim Reaper picks you. That's not how it happens. Okay? And we have to remember that. It happens because maybe in this lifetime we didn't learn the lesson and we're not getting the lesson. So I feel like sometimes our life ends so that the next one can start, even maybe more brutal, so that we could wake up. Wake up to the truth of the universe. Wake up to what we are. Wake up to what our main lesson is. Wake up to what our purpose is. Things like that. Because seriously, I know a lot of people, for the smallest situations, to me they're small, because I feel like mentally I'm on a different level when it comes to certain situations. Like some people will literally be messed up over a situation that's this big. That is as easy as maybe changing their action and they would get a different result. Or, you know, something like that. And I'm like, why? Why are you guys stressing over the small things? You know, I'm also noticing, and it's multiple people. I saw maybe 3 or 4 people literally depressed or sad because either they can't keep a job, they don't fit in, they feel like they don't fit in, they're having issues with family, they feel like they're black sheep, or their family hates them or doesn't like them, or things like that. You're not meant to be regular. So why are you beating yourself up? Why are you getting sad or depressed that you got fired from a job or that your family don't like you when you know what you are? Think about it. You know what your soul is. You know where you come from. You don't think that's going to come with the territory of being picked on in a 3D world? It comes with it. Why do you think us spiritualists struggle the most in this world? Why? Because to everybody else, we're the insane to the membrane, but in all reality, we just know what we are, and we actually illuminate that. And to other people, they don't know how to respond or react to what we're illuminating. I always say, if I get fired from a job, I'm like, that's good. In my mentality, I'm thinking, okay, then I'm meant to do something more. I'm meant to do something better. I'm not happy there. I'm miserable there. So why would I be sad about not being there no more? You just did me a favor. You know what I mean? And some people, maybe they lose the job that they liked. I can understand that too. You liked it. But maybe you're meant to do even bigger things. Even bigger things. We always have to see the positive to everything. Because everything has a positive. Everything. No matter what it is. Death can have a positive to it too. We mostly hurt with death because we're going to physically miss them. We are tied to the emotion of their death. That's not how they're feeling since they're dead. You don't see them crying and moping and grieving. You don't know what they're doing. In all reality, they're probably twerking in spirit form right next to you. And you're all crying with your mascara running, looking like the guy from Kiss. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a positive to all things. No matter what your situation is. No matter how hard your situation is. There's a reason it's happening. Okay? Now, with the celebration and toleration thing, don't put up with people if you don't need to. If you ain't getting paid to put up with people, don't put up with people. Okay? If they're not benefiting your life, if they're not helping your life or upgrading your life or evolving your life, don't put up with them. You don't need to. Okay? You don't. I always say, yeah, some people are like, yeah, but what about work? I gotta deal with people. I'm forced to work with people that I don't mesh with. Dude, act like they're dead. We ignore spirits sometime when we ain't in the mood to read them. Right? When you're not in the mood to tap in and help somebody, you completely pretend you don't see it. You're like, nope, this person's not here. Or you're like starting to banish them, or you're exercising them or some shit because you don't want to deal with it. Do that in your head. I always say jokingly, but I do it and it's therapy. I kill people in my head. It makes me feel better and it changes my mood. It shifts my mood within seconds. Because somebody can aggravate me and I'm like, dude, right now I'm skinning you alive in my head. And while I'm seeing that, I'm chuckling because it's actually filling in that sadistic side where I don't have to project it out in the physical realm to these people. If that makes sense. I'm still feeding my dark side without actually harming another person. So, somebody piss you off? Hang them in your head. I don't know, hack them up with a knife. Whatever the hell your sadistic side likes. I like knives. I love knives, okay? Like, seriously, I keep one right on my bed, okay? Tucked in my mattress. I love toys. I love sharp toys. And I'm gonna tell you, that's free therapy right there. If somebody literally keeps poking and poking and poking and poking, torment them in your head. In a way, I'm gonna be honest, that also manifests their karma. It does. Because you're so consumed in your mind and you have all this negative energy of how you feel about them that it a lot of times manifests instant karma. That's why a lot of witch women and magical women, all their exes are suffering. They either got no job, still living with mama in their 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, fat as hell, not eating healthy, miserable. That's your karma. That's instant karma. Your life sucks without me, huh? That's what happens when you fuck with a magic person. Even if you're not into witchcraft, magic, spells, you're still a manifesting energy. You're still an immortal soul. So you're still as powerful as I am. The only thing is I work on it. I work on getting it stronger. Make my power more strong. And that's what people need to learn. And the way to make yourself stronger in this path, be an observer of the outside world. Learn. Learn from people. Learn their behaviors. Learn what they do when they lie. People do different things when they lie. Some look to the left. Some scratch their neck. Some fidget their face. Study people. Study the mind. Study the mind, the brain. Study people. I promise you, when you start to observe, you start to see the aura too. You get to all of a sudden see the edge color of their aura on the edges of their silhouette. Okay? That's growth. That's ability growth too. You have to see this world like you're the alien visiting. We always say, oh, that's why the aliens don't visit us, because this world's fucked up and people are fucked up. They already have, and they're in this vessel, in our vessels, observing. And when we are asleep and we're in the astral realm and we're dealing with crazy spiritual shit in the sleep, most likely we're already letting our home know these people are fucked up. We're probably the ones telling them these humans are fucked up. And that's why the main motherships and the main queens and kings of the alien world don't come to Earth. Because we're the ones telling them, don't do it. Humans are a disease. Don't do it. Humans are the real monsters. Don't do it. So they don't. We're over here saying aliens don't visit us. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And a lot of them are undercover. The evil ones and the good ones, the ones from both sides of spectrums, are in human form. And they are undercover. Okay? They're either educating you, running the world in politics, maybe in Hollywood. You got some in Hollywood. Megan Fox is a starseed. See that forehead? Same thing with Rihanna. Starseed. You see that forehead? Forehead is the #1 symptom of a starseed. Okay? Their third eye is huge. Their brain is big. They expand their thoughts. It's just big head for a big brain. That's what I say. You got a big head. Most likely you got a big brain. It has to fit in there, correct? There can't be too much room between your skull and your brain. There's only a specific amount of room. So if you got a big head, you got a big brain. Use it. Use it. Have faith in your brain. Seriously. I can't even turn my neck right now. I got stiff neck. But use your brain. That is the number one muscle. Everybody is so hooked at going to the gym and looking like eye candy with their bodies and all of this for what? You're gonna die anyway and go in the dirt. And then guess what? Maggots are gonna be sucking you dry like a prune. So all of that was for nothing. But if you got a brain that you worked on your whole life, right? You can literally leave imprints on the world so others know your knowledge. So others read your books. So others know your theories. Tesla, Einstein, philosophers, they all left a print on Earth when they left, when they died. You can do the same thing. It has nothing to do with your physical form. Shit, I always say, knowing my ass, I could make it to Hollywood. Teeth or no teeth. They'll probably try to put some fake ass teeth in me. But I'm gonna be like, no, because guess what? I'm known for this. This is what my reputation is. Nothing else. Yeah, some people think I'm hot. Some people think I got a nice butt. Some people want to get in my pants. But this is my reputation. When people say Jackie or Cypress or Anya, oh yeah, she's very smart. That's the first thing they say because it's important. It's important. Your brain can move mountains on its own. And I don't mean that like literally, like, telekinesis is nothing. I mean that metaphorically. You can move mountains. You can create planets. You can destroy planets. You can do whatever your mind desires because your mind goes as far as you want it to go. You want to be basic? Be basic. But don't get mad at other people for focusing on their growth. So many people that choose to stay stuck in the same pattern get mad at people who are growing and blaming them. But in all reality, it's them staying in the same place while everybody else is passing them in the race. Life is a race. And we got to get to the final location, the final destination, which is our truth. Our authenticity. I always have trouble saying that word. I think it's a hood thing. Authenticity. Authenticity. Anyway, you know what I mean. Okay? Your true self. We need to stop stressing. Stress, we can make stress an illusion. You know that, right? If we're manifestors, why can't we make stress something that doesn't exist in our life, no matter what the situation is being thrown at us? Maybe your car broke down. Okay? Instead of stressing and crying and punching the wheel and getting all angry, be like, okay, my car broke down. What's the first signal popping up? What's the next solution? Solution. Always come up with the solution. Don't get stuck in the problem. Don't get stuck in the problem because the problem is quicksand. And you just standing in the problem is making you sink. And then you feel defeated, and then depression comes in, and then you want to cry and rip your hair out and scream in a pillow. There's no need for it. We care about things that are not worth caring about. Like a car breaking down. In all reality, yeah, you're mad because you're stuck at wherever the hell you're at. But is it really that important? Is it your health? Is it you dead? Is it one of your loved ones dead? Is it, anything like that? There's always a worse situation you could be going through than what you're going through. And I think if we kept that in mind, that positive thinking of solutions only slowly creeps itself in, which makes the brain grow. You know what I mean? My kids, they're drama queens. I used to be a drama queen when I was a kid. I would literally, my mom would say no. I would throw myself on the floor, start rotating, screaming, crying. And she would look at me and be like, you done? So that's where they get it from. They get it from the child like me. But sometimes she'll be like, for example, Skylar be like, oh, Julius said that if I don't get off his bed, he's going to kick me off and crying. And I'm like, so why didn't you just get off his bed and ignore what he said? Get off his bed and ignore what he said. Problem solved. You don't always have to feed into what people give you. If people are handing you a burger of attitude, you don't have to take it and eat it. You can easily just say, no thanks. And I'm trying to teach my kids to ignore things. Certain things need to be ignored. You got to choose your battles wisely. Because then certain battles become war, but the situation or the intention of why it was a war is something so stupid. One time as a kid, me and my sister, I remember this, we got into a huge fight because I wanted to borrow her headphones. She wouldn't let me. Yo, it got so physical, we had knives in our hand. Over headphones. That's what I mean. Shit can go blow out of proportion and be so small and dumb. So if you are observing it from the seed, not when it's already a tree, when it's a seed, okay? You determine if you want that shit to grow out of proportion or do you want it to grow healthy? Do you want it to have a solution to, things like that. There's so much shit that we over exaggerate about and we don't need to. We're all drama queens. One way or another, certain situations, our relationships, we're drama queens. Our man stares at a woman too long, we're drama queens. Why the fuck you looking at her? What, you want to do her or something? It could have been easily as her having like a stain on her cheek, or maybe she had a booger in her nose and he's staring. It didn't have to necessarily be he wanted to, do things with her. So we automatically jump to conclusions instead of observing and what we don't understand, simply asking in a calm voice. Because I'm going to be honest, when a woman is mad and calm, that's frightening to a man. When you know she's boiling inside, but she's calm as fuck, that's a problem. That means you got some major shit happening. Okay? There's going to be a storm. Okay? And I'm going to be honest, women are the easiest to get emotionally tied to situations, but we're also observers. We're also overthinkers. We overthink all the damn time. Like, our brain does not shut the hell up. You can drug us. We can get drunk. We can have Syracuse. We could have whatever the hell. Our brain's still going. We're still thinking about, what am I going to wear tomorrow? Are these kids brushing their teeth? What am I going to feed them for lunch tomorrow? Our brain's always going. So what makes you think a woman ain't observing and doesn't know what the next step is going to be that she's doing from what you did? We're always one step ahead. Men can really learn from a woman. You can learn to be one step ahead of people by just observing situations, observing how your man says things. Oh, I'm going to go with my boys, but he's stuttering when he says it. Things like that. We're observers. Oh, yeah? You're going to go with your boys? Go ahead, have fun. Next thing you know, we're going to the damn same court you claim to be at with your boys, and you ain't there. And then we go crazy. I always say, a woman, we're never born crazy, yo. We're never born crazy. Life makes us crazy. Men make us crazy. That's what makes us crazy. We are not born crazy. I was not born this way. Okay? Life made me this way. Survival made me this way. Struggle made me this way. So, in all reality, when you hear a man say women are crazy, you can say, because of you men. Because that's the way it goes. Us women drive you men crazy too. And a lot of times we do it for entertainment. We bored, so we want to start with you. Or we want to pick on you. Or we want to bully you. Or we want to play with you, Women are like children. We like to be babied. We like to be loved. All of this stuff. We're like children. And I swear, if we learn to understand ourselves as a sex, as a female energy, even though in our reality our soul is neutral, we're both, you're still a woman in this world. You're still a man in this world. Your soul is nothing. Think of like a Barbie doll with no genitals. That's your soul, okay? But your body is representing a certain energy in this world, in this third dimensional plane. Study the genders. Study relationships. Most of the advice I have on relationships, either I've experienced in this life, or I can seriously feel the person and their struggle with it, or it just feels familiar to me, like a last life situation. Okay? We need to learn to stop stressing over things that are not worth stressing over. Like, okay, we stress over bills. Why? Oh, because I'm going to end up in the street. You mean beautiful Gaia? Beautiful Gaia. That has natural food for you, natural medicine for you, streams, oceans, lakes. Why stress over things that are physical? The more you stress, the more trouble you are causing yourself. The more you stress about money, the less you get money. The more you tell your kids, I don't have money, you're projecting that out, so you're continuing to not have money. Get what I'm saying? I'm going to read you something very informative of what I'm talking about when it comes to energy. Let me get the book for it real quick. I'm also going to shut the music off because I feel this should be marinated. It's very, very important. This is the book, Subliminal Technology. Okay, Molly Cyrus, you need to shut your face. Thank you. And I'm not going to read the whole book because it's a big book. Where you going with your boys? You ain't got no boys, Mike. All right, so I'm going to read what I've read so far in this book, and that's it because, all right, right here. Why change can be difficult. All changes, even the most longed for, have their reasoning. For what we leave behind us is a part of ourselves. We must die to one life before we can enter another. That was a famous quotation, by the way. Okay, so everyone I've ever met or interacted with, everyone I've ever listened to, or whose work I've ever read, in fact, every single human being from my experience has at one time or another desired to change something about themselves. For some, the longed for change may involve getting a better job, losing weight, improving memory, accelerating learning abilities, or increasing charisma. Indeed, there are very few individuals who find nothing they wish to improve. While most people find it exceedingly difficult, if not sometimes impossible, to create the changes they wish, there are some who do manage to alter various aspects of their behavior and beliefs successfully. The question seems obvious. What does it take to realize our total potential? Why do we sometimes succeed while at other times we find only disappointing results? When it comes to personal development, there are a variety of so-called experts with as many solutions as there are problems. Nevertheless, all of these specialists suggest if not state directly, that the real power in the human development segment is that of the subconscious mind, which I always keep telling y'all, the subconscious mind is what manifests. If for no other reason than other habits. If this is so, why then can't I just instruct my subconscious to think differently and produce the results I desire? The answer to this question is really twofold. The first part lies in truly defining the change that needs to be made. The second is in understanding how the subconscious mind accepts information and why this can create problems. What is change? The idea seems simple enough. To some, it's a thing, often thought of as something like a comedy. For example, we desire more prosperity. The evidence of our success is money. So change in this instance is money, right? No. Money is only the outer symbol that represents the shift. The agency of change is within each of us. It isn't a thing. For someone to become more prosperous, he must think in a different order or magnitude than someone who's content with just getting by. At least one element in his life strategy alters before the change takes place. Let's say, for purpose of illustration, that our hypothetical individual who wishes to be more prosperous was also raised with the belief that money is the source of all evil. A subconscious strategy may therefore work to sabotage any effort he makes to achieve real monetary success. In other words, in this instance, the ego perceives safety as avoiding evil, that is money. So if you are the type to believe that money is the root of all evil and you're trying to manifest money, that can get in the way. The fact that you have a belief system that thinks it's evil, that's already molding into your subconscious mind. And then you get mad when you're not manifesting success or money. So that's when you have to shift the subconscious mind of, is money really the root of all evil? Can we change it for good? Can we use it for good? To shift, to change Gaia. Things like that. You have to change the back of your mind in order to really manifest what you desire. Okay. So, our hypothetical person may believe, on the other hand, that only money matters. However, there could still be subconscious strategies that get in the way. For example, assume that this person seeks to build a large company, but is afraid of public speaking. How will he build a large and successful organization without communicating? When will the fear, public speaking, strategy kick in and knock out the goal, the large company strategy? How will the two ideas compete? Conflicting strategies exist in nearly every one of us. They often underpin what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, the conflict that arises from holding two incongruent beliefs. Indeed, opposing strategies also lie beneath much of what's called sublimination, or the acting out of unacceptable fantasies in a socially acceptable way. Change also means giving something up. It's easy to see why change can be so difficult, especially when you add in the fact that it means giving something up. That something may be a counterproductive belief or a competing strategy, or it may be tangible, such as the fulfilling feeling that food holds for some. To most people, giving something up means replacing it with something else. That's so true. Now they're talking about me. The smoker wonders what will replace the cigarette. Gum? The giving up, like change itself, is only a thing in its outermost form. Quitting smoking isn't really about the cigarette, but rather the feelings associated with them. This may involve 10, 20, 30, or more conflicting and competing strategies all bowled up in the outward behavior and the subconscious mind. Whenever we give something up, we must also confront the so-called unknown. This often gives rise to feelings of uncertainty. Most of us are very uncomfortable when we can't predict our emotions or responses. Fear of the unknown then becomes another obstacle in the path of change. I'm working. Now, this is about the subconscious mind. The other challenge to creating real change in our lives lies in the subconscious mind, like I've been saying. This part of us is basically indiscriminate in how it accepts information. The problem then is twofold. First, there are already years of uncritical acceptance in my mind. And second, I act in reliance upon this information. All the statements that have ever been accepted as are present in our subconscious minds. And for most of us, that negative programming. Some psychotherapists have used numbers that indicate that for every input of positive messages put in your mind, there are 100 bits of negative. So for every one positive thought, there's 100 negative right behind it. How many times have you all said to yourselves, things such as, I can't do it, or it never works for me? How many times has each of us heard statements such as, you're not old enough, you're stupid, money is the source of all evil, life is difficult, and then you die. Thank God it's Friday. That will never work. And you will never amount to anything. Or I'm always broke, or I don't have money. Those are examples. When we learn to change the subconscious mind of that terminology we use, we can make big shifts in our manifesting. Our inner programming is essentially negative. Just for fun, I once started a list of statements I've heard or said to myself that created negative expectations. I quit when I realized that to complete the list would take more time and paper than I was willing to dedicate to such a nonsensical task. Still, the message was loud and clear. The language that was programming many of my beliefs was essentially negative. Think about it. Every day, advertisers tell you that we're defiant, or we need this or that to be complete, and that's why we should consume their products. The consequences of this negative programming has been likened to a computer. The biocomputer brain has accepted negative input just like a calculator accepts negative numbers. Then you or I add a few positive numbers to the program total and somehow expect a change? It ain't gonna happen. Our defense mechanism often defeats our purposes. The fact that we act in reliance upon the information accepted indiscriminately by our subconscious minds is a pervasive problem. This means that if negative messages have caused us pain or fear, then we adapt our behavior and beliefs around avoiding those circumstances and outcomes. With this adaptation comes choice. Most choices of this nature are deeply rooted in the subconscious. Our subliminal beliefs, those in the subconscious that arise from our desire to be accepted and to avoid pain, humiliation, and rejection, determine our actions. All behavior comes from choice, even if the decision is made at a subconscious level. What happens is what we build defense mechanisms in order to protect ourselves from former bad experiences and possible future rejection. These defense mechanisms often defeat our own best interests. For many of us, our worst enemy is often ourselves. Ignorant of these dynamics, it's easy to see why more than 90% of the people who attend or participate in motivational gatherings or products are unsuccessful. The fact is that every time we tell ourselves something like, I am good, the subconscious gives a thought to the conscious such as, really? Good at what? Even when the behavior we desire is something as simple as success in our workplace, these subliminal beliefs come into play. For example, when I ask a group of people how many of them would like to come up front and speak to the audience for 5 minutes on some topic I'll assign them, rarely does anyone volunteer. A common fear is that somehow they'll suffer deep embarrassment, humiliation, or more. But this same group of people will respond almost unanimously to the simple, straightforward question, do you want to be successful in business? Their answer is always going to be yes. To succeed in business, one must learn to speak. If there's a deep, abiding fear of public speaking and a desire to be successful, there are contradictory motives present in your psyche. Thus, when a person reaches a certain level of success, for some inexplainable reason, everything crumbles. What may be viewed as outside circumstances is, in truth, inner conflict. In the instance of the fear of public speaking, the closer to success the individual gets, the more powerful the exertion by his subconscious processes to eliminate the impending threat. Conflicting factors or mechanics of our own psyche often defeat our stated desire without our conscious awareness. The resistance to change. Change can quite simply produce resistance. This is a process of avoiding the change. It can take many forms, such as procrastination, feelings of discomfort or irrational, self-sabotaging strategies, and even an attitude that communicates, I really don't want it after all. The simple fact is this: true change is never effortless and can take a great deal of commitment. That being said, the purpose of this book is to teach you about 2 techniques that you can use anywhere and which deal with the problems for their core. The power of hypnosis and subliminal communication exists largely in their direct communication with the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is generally in obese during hypnosis, although our defense mechanisms can still play a significant role in our outcome. I'm not breathing and reading, I'm just reading. The advantage of subliminal communication is that it bypasses conscious awareness. Unlike hypnosis, where attention and conscious assistance are often necessary, subliminal messages aren't attended to by the conscious mind in any necessary manner. Because of this, we can decide for ourselves how to script our subconscious mind with this technology. You can rescript your inner talk. This is the last paragraph, okay? Using hypnosis, then, it's possible to access the hidden recess of the mind to discover the source of a conflict and its solution. Hypnosis also allows us to seed the subconscious mind with thought patterns and ideas that can serve us as opposed to sabotage us. But for me, the most exciting use of hypnosis is for deepening meditation exercises and using this to access information from my higher self. As for subliminal communication, it works by allowing the positive messages or affirmations to eventually overtake the negative information contained in the subconscious mind. This new data rescripts our inner talk, thereby priming positive self-belief, which begin the cycle of self-fulfilling prophecies. When this happens, the subliminal beliefs that formerly were self-limiting begin to change. As they change, so do we. So it is all about your subconscious mind, changing the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is temporary. It's like the introduction. It's like the welcome mat to your house. You know what I mean? You're conscious. Your subconscious is your house, and your conscious is the front door to your house. That's how I see it. Okay? You gotta walk through the front door to put it in the house and the back door. Okay? So, we do have to be very, very careful with what we're listening to, how we're talking, our terminology, not just outside how we speak to other people, but how we speak about ourselves, how we deal with our situations and our challenges, how we speak on them, how we think on them. This is all connected to what is consistently molding in your life. Your life, you got to think of it as Play-Doh, okay? You're the first character created in the Play-Doh. And whatever you're feeling, that's what you're creating next with your Play-Doh. That's your life. Your life is like Play-Doh. You create what you want to create by what you think, what you feel, and things like that. What we watch, what we listen to. Subliminal messages can be more dangerous than just straight out forward messages. We get offended by comments or people. Sorry, my thing got interrupted. But yeah, I unplugged my thing, my phone. That's why. What I'm trying to say here is that we need to be more aware of our situations, or even things just being put in our life or molded in our life. If all of a sudden something happens that you didn't expect to happen, don't let it trip you up from you walking your path, you being focused on your goal. Okay? For example, if your dream is to open up a homeless shelter or something that is a huge dream, big dreams can be overwhelming. My dream is overwhelming to me. And I know that. And that is my sabotage. The fact that I think it's overwhelming. You get what I'm saying? The more I have faith in it, the more I work towards it. And I fall a couple of times. We're going to fall a couple of times during that process. That's like walking through the woods blindfolded, and you have to guess which step you're going on. What are you stepping on? Things like that. That's also how the subconscious mind works, how your thought process works. Okay? You have to have full faith in not just your universe, but in yourself. Know that no matter what, you're okay because your universe got you. If you don't believe that, you will always have fear. You will always consume fear. I feel like the safest chick in the world. I feel like right now I could walk to Compton and be like, what's up, homies? Even as a white girl. You know why? Because the universe always got me. Because I believe the universe has me. It is what it is. Your belief system, your thought process, even your terminology. Saying things like, oh, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. Or, oh, you're too small. You can't reach that. Or, oh, I can't do this. Or, babe, we got no money right now. Those are terminologies that are going into your subconscious mind, which are staying there, which are creating the failures. Sometimes your failures are not even your fault. It's your subconscious mind creating those failures. So you wake the fuck up. Get it? Never beat yourself up for life being unpredictable. Relationships fail. People lose jobs. People get broke. That's life in the 3D plane. We got to remember that. But it's only the 3D plane. That should not have to consume fully of us because we're not fully 3D. We're 3D being controlled by a 5D being. So the 5D being is more important. That's like peanuts. You don't eat the outside shell of the peanut. You eat the inside shell, right? You eat the inside nut. That inside nut is your soul. That shell is your vessel. So don't stress over things you don't need to. Or things that, yeah, it hurts when you break up with someone that you love or you care about. But if you have that mindset like, okay, this person served their time in my life. They taught me this. We just didn't click or we didn't, there's always a reason why people don't work out. The point is, when you're an observer of all things coming in and out of your life, all things, people, situations, everything. When you're an observer and you know it's the universe, because the universe is the one that's in charge of everything going on right now. The vibes you let out and all of that, that comes right back to you, okay? You got to realize when you start thinking more of the situation like an outside situation, not like it's personally yours, because you got to remember, the more you emotionally invest in situations, the more you can kind of shake up your manifesting without realizing it. We're not always happy every day, all day, every day. And if somebody is, a lot of times they're pretending. There's no such thing as being happy all day, every day. Okay? You're supposed to experience different emotion. You're supposed to realize that you are a spontaneous being. Today you might be in a great mood. You can't predict tomorrow if you're going to be in a great mood. You can make yourself in a great mood for tomorrow. But it also what's the word? Shit, my brain now is having a fart. It also requires what vibration is and frequencies are. Are they high? Are they low? What is your mindset? I feel like diet has a lot to do with mindset too. If you're consistently eating things that you know are gonna clog your arteries like hot dogs and shit, you're clogging that pineal gland, which is also fucking up your subconscious because this has to work with this. Because they first enter here, your thoughts, and then they go back there. Change your terminology. Pay attention to the words you use when you speak or when you write. Don't use any negative terms that make you vibrate low. I can't do this. I'm too old for this. I'm too overweight for this. He's out of my league. Things like that. Those are negative vibrations you're letting out. And you're making yourself believe them. And that's why you never get them. It's true. You become what you believe, right? So if you believe you're a failure, you're going to be a failure. Change your subconscious mind. Start with observing. I always say observing is the most important thing to spirituality. If you're the type to be like, I don't want to observe, that sounds boring, let's go to the next level, you're never really going to learn nothing. You always learn from observing. I also say, always see yourself looking at the world like you are the alien undercover observing the human species. Trust me. Don't ever think you need to fit into somewhere to be wanted or nothing. If they don't want you, they don't deserve you. That's how you have to see it. If they don't want you, they don't deserve you. If they don't care about you, you shouldn't care about them. You see, we always say treat people the way you want to be treated. Most people don't live by that. So if they treat you a certain way, treat them the same way back. But have that mentality like a god or goddess. Like, oh yeah? You want to be this way? That's all good. Because you know why? The universe has my back and karma always has my back. And once, more than likely, they'll get their instant karma within a week. Sometimes they get it in a few minutes. 1 day, 2 days. So remember, you are a walking, manifesting god or goddess. You are always manifesting. You are always projecting out vibes. You are always projecting out from what you say, what you think, what you feel, what you believe. Your subconscious mind is the manifester, not the conscious mind. You can act happy up here. It's hard to act happy back here. Let me tell you, it is. Change your thought process. I'm going to read more of this book, I think, every night for about 30 minutes or so. The next chapter is exploring the boundaries of the mind. And I'm going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, because tomorrow's my day off. So Mike gets to be with the kids all day, so I get to actually focus on my videos. So tomorrow we will be reading about exploring the boundaries of the mind and having a little discussion on it. And I would like your thoughts on it. Maybe even experiences that you guys have had with instant karma. If you want to write your story in the comments of instant karma you've experienced. One that I've experienced was one time I tripped and my aunt died laughing, and 2 seconds later she tripped double. That was hilarious. And then I started dying laughing. You know, those little things of instant karma. Karma can come really small or it can come huge and destroy someone's complete life. So if you have experiences of that, any questions on subliminals, how the mind works, subconscious, conscious, anything like that, feel free to hit me up. I'll get to you guys when I can. And like I said, for the 2 ladies that are watching that I owe packages, they will be sent out. I'm still writing out instructions. Trying to write neat so it looks fancy, you know what I mean? I'm one to try to impress with my packages, so that's why it also takes me a while. I'm like, does it smell good? Does the package smell like lavender? Let's sprinkle a little more lavender, or, you know, things like that. That's just how I am. So I really hope you guys like the free gifts that I'm throwing in there for your patience. With my life being unpredictable, I went to Canada for a week. I came back with a cold. Now I'm fighting this cold. Life's unpredictable, okay? Life is unpredictable, but I have your stuff completely done, and I just gotta write your instructions and then sent out. You'll get them within 2 business days, by the way. So it'll be quick. If I send it on Monday, you'll get it Wednesday. What else? So today, please share this video. Let's, get more people to be interested in how their thought process works or how the brain works. This is the book, Self-Hypnosis and Subliminal Technology by Eldon Taylor. Okay? It came with a hypnosis session CD, but the book I bought was used, which I had to sage this bitch because I didn't know who had it before me. So they kept the CD, those bastards. But I have so many hypnosises on my YouTube channel, which I have to post up, which I'm going to share on my timeline. I do have a YouTube channel. Every video I've ever done that's educational should be on my YouTube video channels. What else? I also have meditations options there if you go into the album saved on my YouTube. I have Natural Remedies. I have Rude Awakenings, which is more like corruption and, government stuff and CPS exposed and anonymous things. And then I have children meditations for children, for different things, lack of sleep, ADHD. There's meditations for it. I think I thought they were fighting. They're playing. Okay. I have spiritual music on there. I also have natural detoxing stuff. Like if you want to get weed out of your urine or clean your liver or clean your lungs or whatever, I have stuff on there for that. Look at my YouTube page. Hopefully Stefan posts it or puts the link on the comments. And also follow my Emporium, Anya's Cosmic Emporium page. That's also where you could book readings. Book your classes. We start in certain levels. The classes, like you'll start with basics, chakras, energy, laws of attraction, and then we work farther into spell work, Sabbats, all of that stuff. Okay, basically I teach you everything universal. It's not specific religion you're learning from my classes. It's cosmic path. Everything that deals with energy or your universe. Like I said, manifesting, spell work, how to make your own teddy bears, how to make your own natural teas. You'll have herbology, you'll have crystallology, all of that stuff combined with the classes. I also have workshops. I also sell items. I have charm bags. I have spell kits. I still have to send out these two before I start taking other orders. So once these two are sent out, then I will start advertising for more spell kit orders, manifesting bears, natural teas, things like that. Okay, so look on my page, Anya's Cosmic Emporium. Look on my YouTube channel. Mika, my baby, should be posting both links into the comments. I'm also going to share them on my timeline. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm thinking 1:11 p.m. we will be talking and reading about the exploring the boundaries of our mind. Okay? And I'm going to read the quotation for the beginning of that chapter. Men are not prisoners of life. Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own minds. So remember, chapter 2 tomorrow, 1:11 p.m. Eastern time, we will be exploring the boundaries of the mind. I love you guys. Share this video. Wake up other people, because seriously, we need to make a huge shift in this world. Like I say, dark and light spectrums, they usually work together. They're neutrals. But it's been pretty strong dark with everything you've been seeing going on in Hollywood and the world. And I'm going to say something else. I've said it to Stefan before, and I'm saying it on here, and watch it happen, because I've had the vision of it. With everything going on in Hollywood, with the pedophile rings being exposed, and, people coming out about sexual assault and stuff, they will have a big distraction coming in, okay, to distract us. And it will most likely be something like anthrax, again, which will make us hate the Muslims again, which will put us in war again. So they sometimes run out of tactics, and they'll reuse tactics, and we're so stupid, we don't even catch on that they're repeating history. So I said it, I called it. There will be a big scare for us, as the 99%, to distract us from the exposing of what's going on in the pedophile rings in Hollywood and the sexual assaults in the politician world. And that's it. I'm calling it out. Okay? So any questions, anything, feel free to hit me up. Remember, look on my YouTube channel. It's Anya Sky. Or my Anya's Cosmic Emporium page to book a reading, book classes, workshops, whatever you need working. No matter what your faith in, I got you. Okay? Because I study a little of everything. So I'm good. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great Friday. Stay safe this weekend, please. Have fun and let loose and laugh, but be safe. Okay? I love you guys. Celestial blessings.